Hello, 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 everybody. It's me, Jack Childress, with Richard Ryan Rose and Jennifer Amato. This is the Written Undead podcast. Our guests this week, unfortunately, have not turned up. We're actually currently questioning Merrill David as to the possible whereabouts. He may have been seen on site. We don't know. No confirmation on that.
Very good
So
possibility.
instead, we've got a surprise special guest for you this week, a brand new author about to put out her very first novel in her series, The Group. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenn Amato. How you doing, Jen?
I feel like I've been jumped.
Lead pipe and all.
Yes. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So tell us a little bit about the book series and what got you so motivated to do it.
Oh, what didn't get me motivated to do it after all you fine people? um, okay, so the book series, The Group. It's basically based off of it's the zombie during the zombie apocalypse when it first happens, and then a little bit thereafter, and it's gonna follow my four main characters: Jana, Stacy, Aaron, and Jason. And my first book, Jana, is up and available for pre-order on Amazon right now, and it's out. It's going to be released on November 10th, which is my 45th birthday. So it's going to be a birthday to remember.
No
Um,
doubt.
but it's basically following these four trying, they're just four everyday people. As a matter of fact, Jana is a transplant from the UK, and it's just trying to follow these guys around, and see them muddle through the zombie apocalypse, and how normal everyday people, what they have to do to survive. And you're going to see it from, again, the four different points of view. However, you're going to get you're not going to get everything, conclusion and all in one book. You will have to read all four of them to get the conclusion and to find out who stays, who goes, who lives, who dies. So I'm done with Jana. It's out for pre-order. I am currently working on the group Stacy. So it's the second installment, and it is from the point of view of Stacy, who happens upon Jana, and these girls go off and find a couple other misfits and try really hard to just live and fight zombies. And of course, there's, because we all know during the zombie pack, we're all assuming that there's going to be even human people that are just trash. So
Rotten to the core.
rotten. And yeah, so they're trying to save themselves from, not just zombies, from the military, from getting found out by these, and it's always got to be rednecks. So maybe that's
We resemble that remark, by the
it's a
way.
it's a terrible trope, but for us in the north, well, I'm not even in the north anymore. I'm in Arizona, but born and raised in Ohio. It's in which is where my book takes place, is in my old hometown of Toledo, Ohio.
Well, that's freaking awesome. And I've got so many questions I want to ask you, but I'm going to give Rich a chance to jump in here because at this point, it'll be like last night all over again with me just firing them in,
During my takeover.
which
Well,
you
for
did a
sure.
great job.
Oh, thank you. My first one.
Well, how long is this? How long are these books going to be?
They're not going to be very long. Jana was only like 45,000 words. Stacy is probably going to be around that. Probably, maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know. It really is going to depend on how well, because like right now the story is flowing like melted butter. It's just pouring. And I'm literally, every time I sit down and I start typing, I'm getting in 1,500 to 2,000 words. So I'm really, and I'm not even writing every day, which is bad, Jen, bad,
That, Jen.
bad
Yeah,
Jen.
we're all guilty of that.
But
You ain't supposed to
I have
admit it, Rich.
I have
Yeah.
8 million other things to do. Yeah, it's just, I have too many irons in the fire myself, but it's I'm trying to keep it not super long. The last one is obviously going to be a little bit longer than the rest because the last one is where everything all ties in and comes together. I am, however, excuse me, I am, however, thinking about doing a little side novella on a couple of people that have shown up that just magically have popped in. So
Mm,
there might be like a side novella. So I'm really excited about possibly doing that.
very cool. Well, Jeff Thompson, our good old buddy and pal,
Oh, old
said,
Jeffy.
he said, roving bands of college professors probably wouldn't be too believable.
No, you're probably right. I don't think I have ever come across a college professor I have been afraid of maybe pulling out an AK-47 or anything like that, or an AR-15. I've never, yeah, that they would even consider having in their home. I don't think I've ever met a college professor that was like that.
I've actually taught in college.
There you go.
Prove me wrong one
Yeah,
more time.
Oh, thinking on this, Jeffy, you need more gangs for your book, dude.
Oh,
Some professor themed gang. There you go. I'm a winner. Aha. Even though I am dead.
I think that's a terrible idea.
You
call them
just,
the intellectuals.
It would be
Yes, the intellectuals.
Okay, all right.
See?
I can see that. Yeah, and it would be kind of a hysterical little spin. The bookworms, yes, they're just all avid readers. I like it.
So yeah, there we go. Hot damn. Okay, now first question. Since this is all zombie related, what kind of zombies are in your book?
Good question.
Medium.
I have never heard them referred to in that way before.
They're
Define
kind of
medium.
like if they're medium well done, but they're kind of like, how do I describe it? It's more because I've never liked how you get bit automatically, you're gross and decomposing and like, your eyes are clouded over. That takes time in real life. So I kind of made them a little more realistic where it does get accelerated and but it's still not like in the second book. I have a couple of zombies who aren't necessarily, they're not gross looking, but you can tell things aren't right. And it's kind of like just like for any other illness and any other virus, it's a progression and it depends on who you are and how your immune system is. So my zombies, some people may turn quickly, some people may turn slowly. It may also show up as signs of dementia of sorts or trauma. And my zombies are, if you're not right in front of them being a healthy person, if you're not in front of them, they're just standing there kind of like staring off into space, just waiting for an order, kind of sort of. But if you get close to them, the closer you get, the faster they get. So for me, it's just kind of like, they're kind of conserving their energy because really, honestly, they're dead and they don't really have a normal system like we do. So for me, it was more along the lines of keeping it a little bit more realistic instead of just, oh, I got bit, boom, my eyes falling out of my eye socket and I'm decrepit and green and gross, because that takes time.
So these are actual dead zombies, not the living people acting like zombies.
Kind of like the ones in Jeff's book.
I don't want to give away too much, but
Okay.
I will say that no, Jeffrey, no zombie around. Nobody's doing parkour or jazzercise or anything like that.
Shout out to Carl Meadows.
Yeah, I will say that my zombies are actually a combination of a couple of real life things. It's not just one. It's a couple of things coming together and mutating and causing this problem. I don't want to give it away because that's the end of the 4th book.
Yes.
Okay, well,
At least you've got us something to look forward to down the line. So,
and it does. I mean, and I will warn you, for those who are all into blood, guts, gore, and gross, there's more cussing in it than there is blood, guts, gore, and gross in the first.
Into that too.
The second one, hi Carl. The second one, however, is already twice as disgusting as the first one. So I am progressively getting worse. And by the time I get to the 4th book, I may be rivaling Fester by Meryl David.
Ooh.
Maybe?
That's a tall order.
I know. That's what I'm aspiring for. That's my trophy. If I can get even close to that, I'd be happy.
Okay, well, same like you and I have like a little challenge. I'm trying to make you cry in my books. If you could,
everybody is.
If you could make me puke in your books, you're doing good because Meryl David damn near did it.
Challenge accepted.
Okay.
100% challenge accepted. Oh, I've got some doozies from real life. Oh, yes.
That's something to shoot for.
It is. It really is. I mean, because I've heard, I still have not read it because I'm still working on Wicked Awake 2 from Meryl David.
Oh, yeah. You got to get going. He got 4 coming out.
I know. I am so slow, but I'm doing both. I'm reading and listening. So like I'm sitting there rolling cigarettes and I'm listening to it while I'm rolling cigarettes and I'm going, ew. Ooh. But I can't, I probably, knowing that Fester doesn't come, it's a standalone. I can probably actually just jump right into it. And I think that's, I don't know. Do I want to listen to it, Jack, or do I want to read it? You read it.
I read and listened. I've got both. Of course, he's right there. But I've read and listened. His narrator's great. Narrator's great. But the thing about a particular chapter in that book, you want the ability to kind of jump a little bit if you need to, because if you literally go word for word for word for word, you're going down. I mean, you're going down. So if you do the audio book, you're like the dude in A Clockwork Orange. You're not getting out of there.
Stuck. Yeah.
You're stuck. So, because that particular chapter is.
I damn near wrecked my Jeep on the way to work.
Ooh. Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah. On that chapter alone, he's allowed to call that book Splatterpunk. Just he didn't have to write anything else. That one chapter, he's got it.
Good grief.
Definitely put him in the category for sure. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some other things that happen throughout the book that are pretty damned hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no topping that. It's not.
Yeah. I almost stopped reading or listening, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of audio, are we going to have Jana or any of the other group on audio anytime soon?
Once I figure out what I need to do, absolutely. Absolutely. I had heard a rumor that I have to keep the same person if I'm doing a series. I don't know.
That wouldn't work for your series, though.
No, it would not work at all.
Totally different people.
Yes, I've got 4 different people, 2 males, 2 females, and I'm not sure if either could pull off the other. But I don't know. So it's going to be something to look out for, I guess, once I figure that out. As soon as I do, it'll definitely be up on my Facebook page and online on my website, which I now have.
You should make Jason do his own book.
I was going to. I see Jeff Thompson had a question. Am I reading less now that I'm writing? Yes, very much. I don't want to muddle stories. I don't want to take someone's ideas and try and make it my own. I want my story to be original to myself. So we lost Jack, I think.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, we're going through the same thing every week. For
So
sure.
yeah, once I figure out about the audio, but yeah, I don't want to muddle anyone's story with mine. So that's pretty much what I was just getting at.
I guess that would be something you'd have to watch out for, because if you've
Mhm.
got somebody's particular style in your head and now you're
Mhm.
trying to write, it could just kind of be leaching itself in there and you not even notice it until someone
Mhm.
reads it and goes, "This don't sound like what you'd been writing. What is this?"
Yeah, well, I was actually listening to Carl Meadows while I was writing Jana, and everything I wrote down I heard in Carl Meadows' narrator's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, some of it might sound Liverpoolish when actually Jana's actually a little more posh. So I'm hoping that I made sure that it was okay. Trust me, real life Jana, my character is based off of a real life person. Real life Jana can, she's very versatile. She can do both. It's what we would consider, ghetto or, just regular normal speech or whatever. But there's a huge difference in northern and southern talk, even if you're only 40 minutes away from a certain city, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So the
even in the
dialect.
South, even in
Yes.
the South, we have two versions of ourselves.
Yes.
I get caught doing it all the time. Like when I'm doing this show, I sound fairly normal for the most part. But if I get around the right people and in the right town, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
come like this real quick. I tell you what, man, we used to go down there and fish down by that creek over there. It was a pretty damn good time. Happened just like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mhm.
So now, next question I got for you. When all this started, when we first, got you on the show and then we tased you and we drug you in and now we won't let you out, you've been doing all this. Did you see yourself at this point, say from day one, or were you just like, what the
No.
hell just happened? Are you still kind of looking around like, what the hell just happened?
I'm still looking around like, what is going on? This is not, I mean, this was something that I had always wanted to do since I was 14, 13, 14. It was either law enforcement or writing. And here I'm getting ready. I'm able to do both, and I've done both. So for me, it's like that's two goals in my life that I've gotten completed. And not many people can say that they've completed even one.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate, but I've had an amazing group of people behind me. You guys have always been behind me. James Dean has always been behind me. Carl Meadows has done some amazing help for me. Jeff Thompson, holy moly, this guy. He's makes sure he stays. I need him because he keeps me accountable. He's like, how you doing on your book? What's your word count? Where are
You're
you
back there
at?
cracking that whip.
Yes, he does. It's just it's amazing all of the people that have helped keep me where I need to be, on my way going to the prize, getting the book done. And then now that it's finally done, I think I'm at like 30, maybe 35 pre-orders so far. And it literally just came out, what, a week ago, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it just popped up a week ago. I've got like 30 to 35 pre-orders right now. And I'm amazed at how fast everything has progressed. It's been awesome. I've been having a great time.
Well, like me and Rich were doing at the Bigfoot Festival, that we're just going to say you're at 35. Time to go for 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Going
Exactly.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm sure my friends on my Facebook page are so sick of me because that's all I'm doing is I'm posting my Jana stuff, posting the group, posting, my book's out for pre-order. I'm sure my friends are so sick of me, but I don't care.
Hell
Push it
no.
out.
I said,
You
I'm
love me,
constantly
you'll
sharing.
support me.
Damn
I wish,
skippy.
I wish I knew more then than I do. I wish I knew at least as much as I do now when I
Hmm.
published my first book, because I just had no clue on marketing. So I really didn't, get the word out from the get go or before it posted.
Yeah.
Like,
And again, the marketing is the hardest part,
okay,
especially if you do not have, if you, I'm a brand new person. Nobody knows who I am. They know me because of you guys. They know me because of getting on this podcast so for me, it was just like, this was an amazing, amazing. I'm, and like Carl said, I thought 35 is pretty solid for pre-order. You know, and that's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm just amazed at how much people in this industry rally around, especially newcomers. I'm brand new. I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
See, that was something
And
I was going to actually ask you about was, were you shocked, surprised, or, well, maybe not surprised at all by just how helpful everyone is?
Coming from law enforcement, I was extremely surprised. I am not gonna lie. Yeah, everybody says, if you need anything, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says that. That's in everybody's life. And there's very few people that actually stick with it. Here, damn near everyone who has said that has been like, let me know how I can help you. And if I've said, hey, what do you think about this? They'll give me an answer. It's not a rivalry. I
Mm-mm.
love it. It's not a rivalry. It's not, well, you're going to take my sales. No, I'm not. I just, nobody has ever said that to me. It's amazing. And to me, it's been so helpful that everybody else has been helpful. I've learned so much. Of course, like everything else, you can try it, and if it doesn't work, you move on to the next bit of information, next piece of advice, and just not worry about it. Maybe it doesn't work for me for that, but just so many people. I'm like, I'm in awe of the whole community itself,
And
and
that's what it is right there. What you just said. It is a community.
it really is a brother and a sisterhood, and
All right.
it's
Well,
a giant family.
I didn't mean to chuckle at the time that I did, but I'd read Jeff's
You're
text.
fine.
They know you because of you. You did the writing. Your personality is what has drawn people to you in the podcast. It's you. Deal with it.
I am probably a little bit ridiculously over modest. Thank you, Jeff.
And I think that's what actually helps the indie author be so cool, because so far everyone we've ever interviewed, dating all the way back to when I first interviewed Angel, then I interviewed Richard, got to interview Dee, got to interview Dougie, interviewed all these different people, and every single one of them humble as hell. Just, I can't believe I'm here. This is really cool. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
And that means there's no ego, and where there's no ego, there's nothing but goodness. And that's what all of you indie guys and gals, y'all show me and have shown me from day one. And like right now, I'm looking at three faces of three people who have had a lot happen over the past year. I mean, just incredible. And like you said, everyone is so supportive. They're there to uplift at all times.
Yes.
And
I don't think I would have continued if I did not have the support from the community. Dee has an amazing group of people. Dee herself is amazing. And if there's anybody out here who's just watching this who's like, I don't think I got a chance in hell, that's exactly what I thought. I have a book out. You can do it too. Trust me. There are so many people out that are willing to help. And not that I know anything, but I'm one of them. I'm always willing to help anybody out with anything that I can help out with.
Got a question from Carl.
Yeah.
Okay. As a newbie author, how mentally prepared are you for the roulette of reader reviews? None of us get away with the perfect reviews, so you need to be ready.
My 9's in my bedroom.
I think that's the approach Richard took.
Yeah. Say that to my face. and I mean, I do realize that people today are way meaner because they don't have to look you in the face. If they had to look me in the face and tell me that, then they wouldn't. But then I would be like, okay, maybe this is a genuine criticism. Some people do have genuine criticisms, and I am all for it. However, I know I'm not for everybody. My whole life, I've never been for everybody. Not everybody can handle me. So I expect that the same as my reading or my writing. And I'm used to it already because I was a corrections officer for so many years. Not everybody's favorite person in that building. not. I walk in and people are like, oh shit, they're this girl. I know I'm not everybody's favorite person. It's gonna be okay. I'm ready. I think I think that I'm still gonna get upset at that first bad review? Oh hell yes. Yes.
But now, what by upset do you mean? Angry, or do you mean sad, or sad angry? Sangry.
I respond with anger. I'm a Scorpio. We don't do sad. We do angry. Yeah. We and again, it's going to be one of those, okay, well, maybe I do need to work on this. If it's constructive, please let it be constructive, because if it's not constructive, then I'll just be like, well, F you. I go read someone else's book, you sissy.
Yeah, go see if you can find a Dr. Seuss book.
Exactly.
I think that makes all
Shel
the
Silverstein is over there.
I think that makes all the difference, though. I mean, if it's constructive criticism and something that you can actually take and apply to your book to make your next work better, hey, that's great. That's
Absolutely.
What I mean, I get more benefit out of negative feedback than I do the positive feedback, because I know there's something broke that needs to be fixed.
I don't expect to have everybody just, oh my God, this is the best book ever. I know it isn't. It's not. It's my first. And your first work is never award winning. It's the second, the third, the fourth, down the line. So I understand that. And Carl, you're not wrong. Some people are just miserable people. I was gonna cuss and I really wanted to, but I didn't. I did so good. I'm working on it.
Good restraint. Look at the restraint there. That impressed the shit out of me.
But they do just want to see the world burn. I definitely am not fazed by people who are, especially people I don't know. You literally took 2 minutes to bash whatever I have going on, but you didn't send me an email. My email's out there. So I don't really give any time to people like that. It's people like you guys. It's people who I know will not give me a bad review, but they'll come and tell me, they'll make it more constructive, and they'll come and tell me, hey, Jen, this might be something you might want to fix. And those are the people that I value. And I don't care if you put it in a review, that's fine. It's a review. You say what you feel. That's exactly how you feel, then say it. But the people that are just ugly to be ugly.
Trolls.
Yeah, I have 0 seconds for them. They are not going to waste any time in my life.
Okay, I'm starting to think that I may need to go back and listen to one of the Wicked Awakes again, because I'm bringing Meryl up again. But that guy did one of the best jobs of ever bringing a bad review person into his book and killing the living crap out of them. It was one of the best destroyings I have ever listened to. So just keep in mind that, yes, if you get that troll review and they're a troll, they're not just really like honestly saying, I hated your book. They're just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh, destroy them.
I will tell you, everyone who has died in my books is someone I know.
Oh. So now let me ask you this then. When you were first writing each of these people who you really knew, and you got to the point where it was time, did you feel any sort of way about it, or getting to read of your own exploits in the written word, did it help make it easier for you to do what you did in your books to them?
When I killed off people I didn't like, because nobody that I've liked has died yet. So killing off the people that I have had qualms with, or people that have angered me, stay on my good side. But doing that was kind of therapeutic for me. I then I then felt it was kind of it was satisfying. I'm not. There's no. I can't put it any more diplomatic than that. It was satisfying. It was gratifying. I felt like, okay, now I don't have to worry about this person anymore, and they're not going to live rent free in my head for any length of amount of time. So it was very nice.
And they will die eternally within the pages of your book.
They will immortally perish every day of my life, theirs, and as long as that book is around.
Yeah,
What better way?
It's kind of weird. I have not killed anybody that I didn't like in my book just yet, per se.
He
Seems
said
like
again.
everybody-
There's yet again.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but like the people I've killed in my book are people I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That's
you know,
when you think about it on a deeper level.
You're are you talking to a therapist?
hopefully, yeah.
you should
I'm on meds
should
for
go.
it.
Yeah,
Go
you should
mad.
go 2 times a week.
Maybe just rent a room there.
You might be a little psychotic or sociopath where you have no feeling at all.
No, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Wait,
No.
now hold up. Now you're the
Oh,
one
I'm
that don't
close.
cry. You're the one that don't
I'm
cry
close.
at books. So you know.
Hey,
come
I
on.
did not say I was not a sociopath. I'm not psychotic.
Oh, the way it's so easy for me to start crying reading a damn book, I must be like the total opposite. Yeah. The hell.
Yeah, no, I have not yet gotten rid of anyone. I have any of my characters that I've liked, but again, I only have 4. So 5, 6. But again, yet still book 1.
Okay, now something I was asking you about last night.
Yeah.
As we know now, Dee took care of your cover for you after she kind of
Yes.
read the first chapter and got an idea about what was going on and what it needed to kind of look like.
That was my cover.
Are you prepared for what it's going to be like when you open that box and you look inside and that book is staring back at you? That
I was shitting
Jenna
my pants.
Yeah.
I was shitting my pants when I saw the cover with my name on it. I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. Oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? I went through everything from excitement and happiness that I wanted. I was jumping around the house. I went through all that to sheer terror because I'm like, oh my God, I got to keep doing this. I started a book in a series, and now I got to keep writing. And oh my God, what if I run out of story? And I've gone through everything multiple times a day, not just once. It's multiple. God forbid I open up something and see my book cover. I'm like, oh shit.
well, now once again though, from the takeover last night, you were kind of under duress to do this book because there might have been some threats from James Dean.
Yes, there were.
Tell us about
there were
that.
Threats. Well, okay. So I get roped into doing this show. My very first time. Hey,
This is
Jen,
so
you want to
crazy.
stand in? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm oblivious. I'm just like, yeah, I can do a podcast. It's on the fly. Whatever. I'm good on the fly. You know?
What the hell?
Whatever. So I get on the podcast. We're in the green room waiting to come on. And I'm like, well, who are we interviewing? You're like, James Dean. I'm like, oh my God. And I met him through the Written Undead because of Javin Bond's fundraiser a few years ago. I had helped Mary with it, who everybody knew as Phoebes or Mary Jackson. But I had met James through that because I had won a thing, and I had won a fundraiser thing for Javin, and James and I got to talking, and we talked for like a year and a half back and forth. Then it, both of us had things happen, so it kind of died down, but we still kept in touch. And I was in awe. I read his other 2 books, and I'm just like, oh my God, these are so good. it was I actually got to interact with him and all that stuff, and it was just, I don't know, it blew my mind for some reason that I was actually talking to someone who had published works, and it was so cool to me. And then we get on, and now I'm going to talk to him again
on screen, face to
on
face.
screen. I was so red and fangirling, and then he said, yeah, I've read some of Jenn's writing because I did send him some stuff. And he goes, if she doesn't write a book before my third one's out, which it's still not out yet, if she doesn't write a book or have one at least halfway done by the time, I'm going to slap her. I'm like, ah! So I kind of had to.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
I mean, but seriously though, the likelihood of you getting randomly asked to come onto a podcast.
I know. I knew you for like a week.
Maybe a week at best.
Yeah,
and
24 hours.
I just noticed that during that week you were like constantly, texting with Angel and messing with Angel, and we just lost Patty, and I was like, not dead. She's not dead. She's okay.
No, she's fine.
She's fine. She said she had to leave the show. It's okay. But we were like, dude, we need that female voice, because when we added her to the show, man, it changed everything. It just got a whole different feel to it. And so I was like, Angel, what about that Jenn friend of yours? Do you think she'd do it? I mean, she's pretty chatty on the Facebook. And he's like, well, I can ask her. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, you're on, and your favorite author. And I mean, you've not ever been secretive about that,
No.
Because we try not to play favorites amongst the group, because hell, everybody's an author. But you were always, that's my
boy.
And you wind up, your very first show is with him, of all people. How nervous were you during that?
My hands were sweating. I was shaking. My stomach felt a little queasy. It was, and it's not like, I don't know why it was different. It really was different. It's just, just talking about it makes me giggle.
That's one of the cool things about being on the show, though, is we get to we get to meet and talk to some of our favorite authors. I mean, we've had Chris Colbert, Mark Tufo, and David A. Simpson on here, and I'm like, starstruck, when I'm on the show.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I'm friends with all these people, and I'm just like, I've never really chatted with them. I just know that they're authors, and they're going to be on the show at some point again. And I'm just like, these are some really, really down people. They're very down to earth. They're very straightforward, and it's no qualms about who they. You do not have to guess with any of these people, and that is what I love about it.
And that was the thing. Like when we had Mark Tufo on, which, oh my God, that was my fangirl right there, big time. Just like with Richard when we had Chris Philbrook on, and Randy Bonds was like, I'm going to be on that one too. And I was like, okay, so we got the two big fangirls here. But when we had Bark on the week leading up to it, I was just texting with him to make sure that, he was good to go. Nothing had changed. We were still doing the show, I guess, mainly because I was still in disbelief that he was actually going to be on the show. Well, he would constantly text me back like funny stuff, like, now you said there was going to be beer, right? There's going to be beer? Or
whatever you pull out of your fridge, pal.
Or he'd be like, is it okay if I bring edibles? Does everybody like it? I mean, just silly, funny things back at me. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I was in a hospital, half dead. And a friend was like, hey, man, you ought to start reading this Mark Tufo guy. You can get his first book for free right now. Fell in love with the series, became a diehard fan, decided he was my favorite author of all time, which that's why he is top all by himself over there, because he is God, and he's going to be on this show. And I am literally texting with the guy, and he's giving me shit. It's like, you don't get any better than that. That was just so insane.
Exactly. And that's what I absolutely adore about the indie author, about everything that's indie, because everybody's so real. It's so honest. It's so, this is who you're getting. Nobody's fake. Nope. And that I think is the best part about the whole thing, is that there's no fakeness. I can't do fake. I just can't. And if if I even think that you're being fake, I'm one of those where like, okay, well, you can stay over there. I'm just going to hang out over here. But yeah, it's God, everybody's so real and so amazing. And I can't even.
So we're too busy
yes.
having a good time.
Yeah. And that's true.
Well, let me ask you something there, Jen. On say indie author, are you an indie author, or are you considered a traditionally published author since you went through Angry Eagle?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, it is a good question.
Damn, Richard asked the stump 'em question of the week. That's usually my job. Damn it.
I believe I am a traditionally published author via Angry Eagle. However, she only publishes indie authors.
And you just created a rip in the time stream. I have that.
Okay.
I gave you the stump 'em answer.
My whole life has been a lie.
Yes, totally. All right, great show, everybody. I'm just gonna go shit myself.
We gotta
now.
go think.
Wow. Okay, that was some deep stuff. We'll have to get Dee to be more
We're gonna have to get
explanatory
D
on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Little
as
lost
far
on
as I understand it, I am traditionally published.
Well, how about you now? We'll get you on the USA Today, bestseller list. We'll have something going on here.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. USA Today don't necessarily mess around with indie authors on their number one list. So
Dee Cooper is the ultimate indie. So anything published by her gets the indie label. So you are an indie. There we go.
There we go. Jeff with the answer. Jeff coming in a clutch.
As always.
As
Keep waiting on Tim Brooks to show up.
I'm
straight up
Is it
try to
too early
derail.
for him? Did
Maybe.
he sleep in?
Probably hungover.
A little drunk last night.
He can't hold it these days. He's getting up there,
Yeah, aren't we all?
A little bit. So now, what was your favorite part about writing the book? I mean, like the thing that just made your heart swell and you're like, I'm just loving this about doing this. Because I mean, there's so many different parts to the process as I've learned from doing all these interviews. So what was that one thing that just was the bestest?
My idea is not wrong. I can't do a wrong idea because it's my idea. It's my story. The only thing that the only thing that I can do wrong is semantics, the grammar, the punctuation, all that stuff. But the idea isn't wrong. If I say the sky is green and the water's blue, or the water's purple and the sky is green and the sun is gray, that's what it is. I cannot be wrong.
Godlike power.
That is an ultimate woman fantasy. I cannot be wrong, and you can't prove me wrong.
Hey, trust me, men have known for years that is the case. So, right, Richard?
I think that was my favorite thing about the whole thing is that I'm not wrong in my story.
You do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's your world. You're creating it.
That's why I have my own business, because guess what? I make the rules, bitch.
Got to laugh out of Jeffy. Okay, now that's something I was going to, since we got the little laughing thing going there, how much humor were you able to work into this book?
Oh, God. Let's just say there's some parts where you're going to be like, that's not funny. Why are you laughing? I have a sick sense of humor. I am a weirdo. It's dark. And I will find sarcasm. It's dripping with sarcasm. I will tell you that. It's dripping with sarcasm. And it's not like the pompous, snotty sarcasm. It is the funny, haha sarcasm. So I think people are going to find it hysterical. I think people are going to find it funny. I think it's going to make people giggle, which that's all I ever want out of life. If it makes you laugh, I'm happy. Because this is, we don't need to be that serious.
Especially at a zombie apocalypse. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
if you
you
don't
have to laugh. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go crazy.
Well, I tell you, somebody else is really good at putting humor in their books as well. That guy. Richard Ryan Rose. He has got some of the funniest parts throughout that book, and he interlaces it so well between the funny and then the, oh my God, that's not so funny.
Yeah.
And just carries it so well. And did that part just come naturally to you as you were writing it, or did you catch yourself at points going, okay, I'm getting a little dark here. Let me see if I can wedge a little funny in.
I think this first book, it happened pretty naturally. I think I'm pretty naturally a funny, happy-go-lucky kind of person. If I get dark, it's sometimes forced, and then it just doesn't sound right. Which is kind of why I didn't put a ton of gore and mess in this first book. The first book is pretty funny, pretty lighthearted. There's not a ton of blood, guts, and gore because it was my first book, and I didn't want it to be. I didn't want to like, oh yeah, that's a sick chick right there. I wait till the fourth book. So, it's kind of like drawing you in and then hit you with the sledgehammer. So.
Now, is there going to be a van with a door open, setting off on the side with this sledgehammer that's a coming?
4-inch lift kit truck.
Oh,
some hillbillies in it.
And then once again, me and him.
I know, and I'm sorry ahead of time. Did that sound genuine?
I can't wait to get to read the finished product. I really can. I am so excited.
You got to read a little bit of it.
A little bit of it.
What did you think? And I've revamped it from what you've read. So
see, then I don't even know what I read. But I know what I did read. I really did enjoy. I really did. And it's just kind of like what me and you're getting to do right now. Spoiler alert. Me and Jenn have been getting to read 5-chapter blocks of Jeff Thompson's soon to be out book, Epic Mayhem.
Yes.
Which has been really cool. So getting just those little tastes, you're ready for the next one. Like, okay, when's my next email? When's my next text coming with this doc in it? So reading that little bit that I got from you, I'm starving over here now.
I know.
I'm starving.
I only gave little bits and pieces to a few people.
Oh.
Apparently Jeff wasn't one of them.
I'm going to throw you under the bus on that one. Or in this case, under the train.
Yeah. I don't know what... That was one of the things that I wasn't sure of was beta readers. When do I use them, and stuff like that. I thought I was going to have a little bit better grasp on when I need to use beta readers, and I didn't ask the question. So that was my fault. So hopefully when Dee is reading over this, she doesn't look at it and go, oh my God, what did I just sign up for? Hopefully, I'm really hoping that she's enjoying it. And then the second book, I can find out when I'm supposed to use beta readers. Do I do it before I send it off to the publisher or before editing or, so that's something that I needed to find out. And I did not during this first book.
Well, let me ask you this on the editing portion. Are you getting a developmental editing at all, or just getting the copy?
That's part of when I sent it to Dee. That's part of what she does.
Okay.
Right. So that's why, honestly, that's why I went with Dee with Angry Eagle Publishing, because it's pretty much, it was an all-inclusive package. And I'm like, yes, please, especially for my first series. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I could hear the confidence in your voice just then. You didn't say my first book. You said my first series. So you're already subconsciously
I'm going to be doing this for a very long time, I have a feel. So.
I've said it to you through text and in comments on Facebook and all that. I'm going to say it to you right here to your face. I am so freaking proud of you.
Thank you.
You are owning it right now.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot. Because sometimes a lot of people don't have the support at home that they think they're going to, and it's just I have support. I just don't have you guys. And thanks, Jeff. I don't have you guys who keeps me accountable for what are you writing today? How many words did you get done? You know,
Mhm.
or even Angel sometimes will sit there and be like, hey Jen, how's that writing coming? You know, he'll get a little accountability nudge in there too, you know, and I need that, because then I'll sit there, I'll be like, I didn't write any. I'm going to write right now. You know? so I'm one of those that need that, you know, but the people at my house, you know, they're proud of me. They're proud of what I've accomplished. You know, they're excited that I have a book out and everything like that. They just don't ask me, have you been writing? What are you doing?
Mhm.
Why are you sitting down? You don't need to put that cookie in your mouth. You need to go upstairs and and write. You know, but I do have an amazing amount of support between you guys and people here. It's support I've never had. And it's been amazing.
Well, I can, speaking for myself, being just on this podcasting end of it, the people that are closest to me that are like in my everyday life, that I
Mhm.
physically see, I talk to every day, they're part of it. What I'm doing, what we're doing, all of
Mhm.
this doesn't mean the same to them as it does to us.
That's
Like they're
true.
just kind of like, oh, have fun with your thing,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing over there. Okay, yeah, who you interviewing? Oh, okay,
Yes.
don't know
Yeah.
them. Have
Oh
fun.
yeah. I was interviewing it was when we were doing Max Hawthorne. I
Hmm.
text my mom. I'm like, "Oh my god, Max Hawthorne, blah 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 blah," you know, and she's like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're not a reader. I forgot."
Yeah,
You barely, you know, it was just one of those things where it was like, okay, it doesn't mean the same thing to you that it does to me. Okay, I get it. You
and
know,
and like Jeff said, we all need it.
yes,
We all
I,
need that
I need it
support.
real bad.
And I mean, and again, it's like anything in life. You need some kind of support. 'Cause if it's just you on an island by yourself, you'll never accomplish anything because you'll spend too much time in your own head and you'll just
Hmm.
be stagnant because it's like, what am I doing this for? You're not
Yeah,
getting that. I'm sorry. No one should go through life looking for a pat on the back.
right,
Don't do that. But
right.
when you do get that pat on the back organically because someone feels like you earned it, man, there's no better feeling in the world.
Yes.
When hell, Javin, we'll use him as an example, and since he'll probably listen to this at some point, so brownie points over here. When he more or less told me, several episodes into the Written Undead, that he was now a fan of mine,
Hmm.
it floored
That's
me
something.
because I'd gone like I'm not the traveling type. The
Hmm.
second big trip I ever made was to go hang out with Richard at the Bigfoot Festival. But before that, I made a trip down to Gunnersville, Alabama, to see Javin. He was
Yeah.
having a big meet and greet, and I'd never done
Yes.
anything like that before. And I'm down there full fangirl mode. And oh God, you want to talk about fangirl mode? When you're standing in the author's living room,
I can't imagine. If I
you're
was
just
standing in James's living room right now, I'd be like, I'd
right.
be, yeah, I'd
And,
be
he,
a hot, sweaty mess. It's disgusting.
and he'd just be like, sorry, we didn't vacuum,
Yeah.
sorry about the house. And
But I'm in your house.
I don't know if I ever actually told Richard this, so if I didn't, I'll tell it to him now. That's exactly how I felt when I walked up and shook your hand, and then stayed in that cabin with y'all. I was still kind of starstruck even through all that, so it was really
I,
cool.
I have to admit that's probably how it's going to be when I go to Texas AuthorCon. I'm probably going to be like, oh my God, I know you. It might get weird. I'm just letting you know.
Weird's okay.
Yeah.
Weird's good.
So what was it like? What was it like for you, Richard, when you finally got to meet Merrill face to face? If
Yeah.
he was here, I'd ask him the same thing, but he ain't. So I'll ask
I
you.
mean, yeah, it was great. It was great. I mean, Meryl and I, we messaged each other back and forth, and read each other's books and sent each other, signed copies and everything. And it was just great to meet another indie author, in person
Hmm.
that been you know been friends with via Facebook all this time. Get to meet them in person was really really cool. I mean, it's just and when I met Meryl, it's kind of like I'm just saying hi to a friend that I've known for years. It was he's a real down to earth guy, and done a couple of events with him since. And
I'm going to full out fangirl when I see him. I already know this.
Right, me too. I will be the guy if I get to meet him in person. Finally, I will be probably humping his leg.
Well, I'm excited because I get to meet Jeff face to face first
Yes.
in February, because I'll be going up to Days of the Dead in Vegas in February with Jeff. So I'll hump Jeff's leg for you. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. And I want to say thank you, Carl Meadows.
Yes.
Dude, this means a lot, coming from this guy, because I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You've really grown into this, Jack. I give you a virtual pat on the back from across the pond. This comes to you naturally now. And dude, oh my God. Freaking Carl Meadows of all people. I just got chill bumps.
It would be nice if we could jump the pond and go see them all one day.
Hey,
That'd
who
be
knows?
fun.
Once you guys hit it big and start making millions and the podcast is all over the world, we'll just fly on over there. Why not? And of course, Jeff didn't need
Jeffrey,
that visual.
You like that visual.
You know he did.
You know it.
He'll write it into the next book.
Yeah. Somehow she's going to hump somebody's Horatio's leg or whatever.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Like that, huh?
Okay, hang on. We got a wheel coming loose.
Wait a minute. It took 55 minutes for the wheels to start coming loose, okay?
We held it together pretty well.
Where's your taser, Jack? Taser.
I did a damn good job.
Pop you one good one. Okay, wait. Okay, what did you say? I can make you a lesbian dominatrix if you want to, young lady.
That'd be an interesting turn. Let's try it. Why not?
And well, here we go.
Here we go.
Things are about to seriously get interesting over in Epic Mayhem.
Very weird.
We need to get into
so
making
excited.
Film.
Say what?
Our own film production company and start turning these books into movies.
Yes.
Yes,
we do. Because there are so many of them that I have either read or listened to, or in some cases both, that I would love to see them as a movie, but not as a sci-fi channel movie. Not that. Don't do that.
Right there with Sharknado. Yeah.
Right. Now get off Sharknado. I love Sharknado. I actually, had
Killer
parties,
clowns.
I love it. And they've got a video game coming out.
Oh my God.
3-on-7 is the way it's being hyped. Oh, it's going to be so good. I can't wait to play it.
Sharknado has been made into.
No. Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, see, he got excited. Yeah,
I heard
you guys are special.
They'll be shooting the damn popcorn guns at us and all that. You have to try to fight them off.
That is kind of cool. I mean, what other? Who else could have came up with popcorn as little bombs?
Yep, and then they grow into little heads.
Little things.
Yeah, and then they put you in the cotton candy cocoon and the one with the straw.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. And you had to pop their noses to kill them. That's just brilliant.
So
That's freaking brilliant.
It is so stupid.
Of course, this coming from a guy that really enjoyed a movie about a tire that had telekinesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Thanksgiving is one of the best movies of all time, though.
Ooh, yes.
What was it?
Thanksgiving.
No, it's
Jeff said, I think I'm going to go watch it again right now. Not yet, Jeff. The show ain't over, damn it. Sit back down.
You got to check out Thanksgiving, though. You'll thank me afterwards.
Again, Dungeon Dan.
Yeah, get his name right.
He has nicknamed me 5-Minute Jenn.
And that's for different reasons than what you perverts are thinking at home.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't thinking anything. I mean,
lies. Your eyes tell different. Because I can't last past the credits on most of these movies because I either fall asleep or I'm just like, even the credits are stupid. I just can't.
That's why we told you fast forward through the damn opening credits, get to the movie, and if all of a sudden it's slow, fast forward some more.
Yeah, and I'm gonna end up fast
action.
Forwarding all through the movies. Jeez Louise, you guys come up with some dumb shit.
Damn. All right, guys, we are in the final minute of this week's Written Undead podcast.
Oh shit, that went by fast.
Didn't it though? We got to talk to a kick-ass new author. Does that still sound good to your ears, Jennifer?
It's still weird.
Well, I'm going to keep calling you author until I get tired of saying the word author because you are a new author and you are the author, Jennifer Amato. And speaking of which, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jenn Amato Author, Jenn Amato Author. You can also find me at my My own website, JennAmatoAuthor.net. And I think that's it. Oh, I'm also on Instagram, Jenn_Amato_author. I think that's it. So
Cool.
far. So
Now,
far.
and as we talked about earlier, your book is now up for pre-order.
Yes.
We're aiming for 40 right now. Ah, look at that. Look at the
Got a
beautiful
t-shirt
artwork.
already.
Yep.
That thing is beautiful.
Yep. I've already got a couple of shirts made up for people's.
Not going to lie. Kind of thought I was going to get a different show for a second there, but I digress.
Nice try.
Man, can't blame a man. What the hell? Anyway, Richard Ryan Rose, where could everybody find you, my Bigfoot loving friend?
We can find me on Facebook at Richard R. Rose Author, and my website, richardrrose.com. And my books are available on Amazon, Audible, Goodreads, and iTunes. Wild Eyed Southern Boys series, and more to come after that.
Awesome. Well, since I kept bringing him up all show long, I'm going to do 2 more. Where can you find me? Merrill David is on Amazon and Audible. He's also on Facebook. You can look for him at Merrill David Horror or just Merrill David. Yes, I know his name is backwards. Don't sweat it. It's fine. And the other is Jeff Thompson, who you can also find on Amazon and Audible, both of which have fantastic narrators and are brilliant writers. Merrill, he's got an interesting way with words. Oh, it's so good. It's just so good. Brilliant stuff. So I want to throw those 2 guys in there. And just because he is an awesome guy, Javin Bonds can also be found on Amazon, Audible, Facebook, and most likely an FBI watch list.
I'm willing to bet.
So with that, for Richard Ryan Rose, Angel Ramon, who's out doing angelic things today for some neighbors, and the newly minted author you're going to be chasing around going, when's the next one coming? When's the next one coming? Before long, Jennifer Amato. I'm Jack Childress. This has been the Written Undead podcast. We will catch you guys next week with who? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, we'll be moving into September, ladies and gentlemen.
Already.
And we will be taking a weekend off.
Yes.
A much-deserved free time for everybody to go out, cook out, party hardy, have a good time. And if you can, instead of cranking the stereo, man, throw in an audiobook and piss off all your friends and family. Until we see you in 2 weeks, peace out.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.